Hello everyone. Welcome to our very special podcast today. I am really excited to talk with you about something that is all around us, something we cannot see or touch, but we all know it's there. This special thing is called time. Have you ever wondered what time really is? What is the past? What is the present? And what about the future? Why do we remember things from yesterday but cannot remember tomorrow? These are all big questions, and today, we are going to think about them together. Even though these questions may sound a little difficult, I promise to talk about them in a way that everyone, including kids, can understand. So, let's get started. First, let's imagine something simple. Think about your morning today. Did you wake up early? Did you eat breakfast? Maybe you brushed your teeth and packed your bag for school. All of these things happened this morning, right? Now, think about tomorrow morning. What do you think will happen? Will you wake up at the same time? Will you eat the same breakfast? We do not know yet, right? Because tomorrow has not come. This brings us to our first big idea, the past, the present, and the future. The past is everything that has already happened. This could be as far back as 1,000 years ago or as close as 1 second ago. The present is what is happening right now, this very second while you are listening to me. And the future? The future is everything that has not happened yet. It could be as soon as your next breath or many years from now. Can you feel the difference between these three? Let's try an experiment. Clap your hands once. Right now. Ready? Clap. Before you clapped, that clap was part of your future. You were thinking, I am going to clap. When you actually clapped, it was the present. And now that you have finished clapping, it is part of the past. Isn't that interesting? Even something as small as a hand clap can show us how the past, present, and future work. Now, let's think a little more. Why do we remember things from the past but not from the future? You might remember your last birthday party or your first day at school. But can you remember your next birthday party? No, of course not. That hasn't happened yet. Our brains seem to work like little time machines that can look back into the past, but not forward into the future. But is this the same for everyone and everything? Let's pretend that there is a creature called Timmy the Turtle. Timmy is magical, and he can move both forwards and backwards in time. When Timmy goes back in time, he sees dinosaurs and ice ages. When he goes forward, he sees people flying in cars and robots having tea parties. Wouldn't that be amazing? But for us humans, we can only remember the past and imagine the future. Let's talk about imagining. When you think about what you will have for lunch tomorrow, or where you might go on the weekend, you are using your imagination. Imagining is a bit like remembering in reverse. When we remember, we think about something that really happened. When we imagine, we dream about things that haven't happened yet. Sometimes, the things we imagine do happen later. You might imagine getting a new puppy, and then, perhaps one day, you really do get a puppy. Imagination helps us to plan, hope, and dream. But here's a big idea that philosophers, people who think deeply about things, have wondered for a long, long time. What is time itself? Is it like a river that flows from the past into the future? Or is it more like a book, where all the pages exist at the same time, even if we are only reading one page at a time? Let's think about both ideas. First, the river idea. Imagine you are standing next to a river, watching the water go by. The water that has already passed you is like the past. The water right in front of you is the present. And the water coming toward you is the future. Many people think of time like this. We stand still, and time moves past us like a flowing river. This is why we say things like time passes or time flies. It can even feel as if time moves faster when we are having fun, and slower when we are bored. Now, let's think about the book idea. Imagine your life as a big, long storybook. Each page is a different moment in time. The page you are reading right now is the present. The pages you have turned are the past, and the pages you have not read yet are the future. But all of the pages are really there in the book, right? Some philosophers believe that every moment of time, past, present, and future, exists together, like pages in a book. We just happen to be reading one page at a time. Which idea do you like better? The river, which moves all the time, or the book, where all moments sit together peacefully? There's no right or wrong answer, these are just different ways to think about what time might be. Now, let's talk about clocks. Have you ever noticed how we tell time using clocks and watches? We break time into hours, minutes, and seconds. This helps us meet our friends after school, watch our favorite shows at the right time, and go to bed when we should. But imagine if you lived a long time ago before people invented clocks. How would you know what time it was? That's right. People watch the sun rise and set, the stars twinkle at night, and the seasons change. Nature became their clock. But even though we have clocks and calendars, time is still mysterious. We can count seconds and minutes, but why do we feel time differently depending on what we are doing? Think about your summer holidays. Sometimes, the days seem very long and lazy. But as soon as something fun happens, the day seems to zoom by. Some people say, time flies when you're having fun. I wonder, can we control time? Can we make it go faster or slower? What if you could press a button and skip boring parts of your day? Or maybe rewind and do your favorite part again? In stories and movies, we meet characters who have special powers over time. Maybe you have read about wizards who use magic to travel backward or forward in time. Or seen movies where a time machine takes people to the past or future. If you could have a time machine, where would you go? Would you visit the dinosaurs, the first humans, or even the future, where there might be cities on Mars? But remember this, in our real world, no one has discovered a way to travel in time, not yet. Maybe one of you listening right now will be the scientist who finds a way someday. But let's talk about memory for a minute. Our memories help us remember the past, but sometimes our memories change. Maybe you remember your first day at school as very scary, but when you tell the story to your friends, you remember it as a funny day instead. We do not remember everything perfectly. Our minds can make mistakes, or our feelings may change the way we remember things. Have you ever heard the saying, time heals all wounds? Sometimes, when something sad or scary happens, we feel very upset at first. But as days and weeks go by, we start to feel better. Time seems to help us heal and move on. In this way, time can be like a gentle friend, helping us let go of bad feelings and remember the good times instead. Now, here's a funny thought. Does time exist for everyone in the same way? Imagine a tiny ant crawling on the ground and a big, tall tree standing next to it. The ant lives for only a few weeks. The tree might live 100 years or more. For the ant, time might seem to move very quickly because its life is short. For the tree, time moves very slowly. And for mountains or stars, which live for millions or billions of years, time might feel different still, so slow, we can hardly imagine it. Even humans feel time differently at different ages. When you are very little, everything seems new and exciting. A single day feels long and full of possibilities. As people get older, they say that weeks and years seem to pass faster and faster. Why do you think this happens? Maybe it is because, as we grow, we have more memories, and time feels like it's racing along. Let's pause a moment and try a little time exercise together. Close your eyes, if you like, and think about 3 things that happened yesterday. Maybe you played with a friend, read a book, or ate your favorite food. Now, think about 3 things that you hope will happen tomorrow. Maybe you will see someone you like, learn something new, or play a game. Notice how easy it is to remember the past, but with the future, you are just guessing. This is how our brains work. We like to look back and remember what really happened, and we like to look forward and hope for good things. Some philosophers have a very funny question. They wonder, is the present even real? Imagine the present as the blinking light on a train track, speeding along from station to station. But as soon as you try to point to the present, it's already gone. It becomes the past. The future becomes the present for just a tiny second, then it slides away. The present is always moving, never standing still. That's why the present is called the now. It's the only time that we really have any control over. We can't change the past, and we can't see the future, but we can do something right now. Because of this, some people say, live in the moment. That means, try to enjoy what you are doing right now. If you are playing outside, really notice the bright blue sky, feel the wind on your face, listen to the birds. If you are with your friends, laugh and have fun together. The present is always slipping away, so let's try to enjoy it as much as we can. But is time the same everywhere? Scientists have discovered something amazing. Time can go faster or slower depending on where you are and how fast you are moving. Isn't that strange? Imagine two twins. One twin flies in a rocket into space, going very fast. The other twin stays on Earth. When the space twin comes back, he is younger than the twin who stayed behind. This is called time dilation, and it was discovered by a famous scientist named Albert Einstein. So maybe time is even more mysterious than we thought. Let's think more about the future. Sometimes, people worry about what will happen tomorrow, next year, or when they grow up. Other people get very excited thinking about adventures and new things they might discover. The future can be scary or exciting or both. But remember, the future has not happened yet. We can make choices today that help make a better future. If you study, practice, and are kind to others, you are building the kind of future you want. But, is the future already decided? Or do we get to choose what happens? This is another question that philosophers ask. Some people think everything is already decided, like chapters in a book that have already been written. This idea is called fate or destiny. Other people think that we shape our own future through our choices. This is called free will. Maybe it is a little bit of both. We may not get to choose everything, like where we are born or who our family is, but we do make choices every day that shape our own future. Speaking of choices, think about the last time you had to decide something, like which game to play or what snack to eat. Every choice you make changes your future just a little bit. If you choose to play outside, maybe you meet a new friend. If you choose to read a book, maybe you learn something amazing. All these little choices add up to make your own story. Some stories and games talk about alternate histories. For example, if you made a different choice, would the world have changed? What if you had never met your best friend? Or what if people never invented electricity? Some philosophers and scientists think that there might be many worlds, each with different features, like branches on a tree. This is called the many worlds idea, and it makes us wonder how big and strange time really is. Let's talk about traditions. Around the world, people celebrate the passing of time in different ways. Some people celebrate the new year by watching fireworks, others eat special foods or stay up late with their families. Many people have festivals for the changing seasons, the arrival of spring, the harvest in autumn, the shortest or longest day in the year. These ceremonies help us remember that time keeps moving, and give us a chance to start fresh and make new promises. Think of birthdays. Each year, you grow a little older, taller, and wiser. Birthdays mark the journey of time in your life, from baby to child, from child to grown-up. When you look at old photos, you see how much you have changed. Your family may even look at photos and say, "Remember when?" Remembering together helps us feel connected to our past and also helps us dream about our future. But are there people who do not think much about time? In some parts of the world, time feels very different. In some cultures, people do not use clocks and calendars as much. They live by the rhythms of nature, when the sun rises, when the crops are ready, when animals are born. For them, time is not something to be counted, but something to be felt. In other places, everyone hurries to be on time, to finish on schedule, and sometimes, people get so busy that they forget to enjoy the present. So let's remember, time belongs to everyone, but each of us experiences it in our own special way. Now, before we finish, I'd like you to think about time in your own life. What are your favorite memories? What are your biggest dreams for the future? Is there something you wish you could do again? Or something you hope will happen very soon? And how do you want to spend your days? If time is a precious treasure, how will you use it? Maybe someday you will become an artist, or an inventor, or a teacher, or anything you can dream. You have all of your time ahead of you, waiting like a wonderful adventure. And remember, you are the hero of your story. Every day is a new page in the book of your life. As we finish our podcast today, remember that thinking about time is something people have done for thousands of years. Philosophers, scientists, poets, artists, all have wondered about the same things. Where does time come from? Where does it go? And what should we do with the time we have? No one has all the answers, but that's okay. Asking big questions is what makes us human. So keep wondering, keep dreaming, and enjoy all the moments you have, past, present, and future. Thank you for listening. I hope you had fun thinking about the mystery of time with me. Until next time, take care, and remember, every second is a little bit of magic waiting for you to discover. Goodbye for now, and see you in the future.